Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Solving Standard. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is a nice brew. This is an Ali Antrazi special. He put this out over at Gathering Magic. This is Bant Superfriends using all the Dominaria cards we can. You see it here. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Dominaria, I don't know which it is. Either way, Teferi is the hero of it. We also have Nissa, we have Karn, we have Ajani Unyielding. We've got it all over here. Deck is quite sweet. And now we have a turn 2 Search for Azcanta. Also pretty good. Now our deck is a little slow to get out of the gates. That is a problem, but that's why we lean heavily on cards. Okay, they're cycling. We lean heavily on cards like Settle the Wreckage and Fumigate, and even Haze of Pollen. Because you know what? Teferi untaps 2 lands. That's conveniently enough to fog and protect Teferi, or play Seal Away, which is another Dominaria card I think is going to be very good. Heart of Kiran, huh? No, I would like to draw Heart of Kiran, as a matter of fact. And I'd like to play this Nissa and just immediately get on the board with these planeswalkers here. +1, please. Now, our opponent could have a burn spell or whatever to get rid of it, but I like that we are starting off the right way here. Now, they're just cycling. Now, our opponent with no gas over there in their red-green dinosaur deck. I assume that is what it is anyways. All right, well, we can scry. What do we want here? We basically just want lands, specifically kind of not those lands, but I think this is fine if we just... The Glacial Fortresses are going to be kind of awkward. That's the issue here. I guess the next one at least allows us to play Settle. Yeah, I've already played a land. All right, so we'll pass the turn here. Unfortunately, we won't have Settle on turn 4 if our opponent does have a creature here, but we will have the Haze of Pollen. Oh, there's a Phoenix, huh? Okay. I guess maybe we just put this into our graveyard even. Yeah, because we're going to scry anyways. I could have done that differently, I suppose. I could have put the Fumigate on top, then the Glacial Fortress, and then minus. But with Nissa, but either way, it would still come into play tapped. This probably gives us the same outcome of having the mana we want on the next turn. Well, we can at least fog the Rekindling Phoenix, which hopefully will then lead into a strong Settle the Wreckage turn after that. And maybe we're just going to ultimate this Nissa here. And taking up Search for Azcanta is also, for what it's worth, a thing that is strong to do throughout the course of the game. All right, here we go. Sealed Away I like quite a bit. We do need this land, though. I think I might minus the Nissa next turn, though. So if I put Scattered Groves on top, then the Seal Away. All right, well, we have a plan. It is to fog this attack, minus Nissa next turn to put our 5th land into play, which would be, it'll be tapped, but that's fine, because next time we're going to settle with our 4, and then untap and have 5 for Teferi. For what it's worth, I could also just take the hit to Nissa. Is that... No, because we want to minus next turn, so we don't want to do that. It's almost tempting, but it would open up our Nissa to die into a Shock or Lightning Strike or whatever, and we want to be able to minus Nissa, so this seems better. All right, let's see what our opponent does here. They are going to... Ooh, a second Phoenix even. Well, these are some nice settle targets. All right, we'll keep the Seal Away on top. We'll draw it. Minus the Nissa. This gives us our land. All right, and now we have to pass, doing not a lot, but hey, our opponent has 2 Rekindling Phoenixes, which are pretty good cards, pretty difficult to beat, and extremely good against Fumigate, but not so good against Settle the Wreckage. And then after that even, we're going to be able to play Teferi, untap Teferi's 2 lands with Teferi to seal away whatever our opponent's next creature is. Oh, they're going to actually play around the... Wow, we're going to punish them for it then. If our opponent wants to play around Settle, I'm going to Seal Away. It's so good in this deck. Now we can seal away the Phoenix, and then... Oh, okay, sure, fair enough. They're going to trade their Abrade for our seal away, which is good. It actually kind of makes sense for them. Keeps the elemental token around. There's a Pia. Okay. What do we have on top here? Our opponent's playing this well for what it's worth. I would like to draw that, I believe. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would only give us 3 afterwards. I could fumigate the board here. That's not that bad. It leaves our opponent with 1 Rekindling Phoenix, which wouldn't be able to kill our Nissa. I think that's reasonable. I'm going to keep scrying here. Haze of Pollen I actually kind of like. The farmland I don't... I guess we can do the same thing where we might minus Nissa next turn. Or by minus I obviously mean 0, but... Alright, let's go ahead and fumigate. I'm not convinced that I'm playing all this stuff right, for sure. Clearly our opponent still gets a Phoenix here, and they get to attack Nissa, but I think it'll be okay. Because at some point we're just going to play Teferi. If we can try to manage the creatures they have on board, then at some point we can play Teferi and just put the Phoenix third from the top or whatever, which is very good against our opponent. And we are kind of slowly grinding out some value with this Nissa, not just with the Scries. Uh-oh. Oh, well. Fair enough. That's haste. Yeah, our opponent did play this well. They held the Glorybringer till we didn't have settle the Wreckage up, and we are going to pay for it with our Nissa. In this case, I kind of don't think I want Haze of Pollen. We don't really... Well, you know what? We could still play Teferi and cast Haze of Pollen. That's pretty good, probably. I don't know if it changes too much, but... It does... We do get a card, basically a free card added to Teferi this way. Yeah, this has been a very interesting game. Alright, so we'll play our land here. Alright, so I think this is going to be fine. We still get... We don't have Settle up, unfortunately. But if our opponent comes in with both, which I assume they do, we'll have Haze of Pollen. The next turn we get to see even more cards to make up our mind about what we want to do. And of course, eventually we will transform Search for Azcanta. We're getting a little closer here. Next turn we have Heart of Kiran and Settle for what that is worth, which may or may not be much. This is a very good Glorybringer by our opponent, that's for sure. Another Phoenix, huh? Okay. Alright, let's see what we're looking at here. I would like to put that into my graveyard. Another Nissa. That's not bad. I could play Nissa and keep up Settle, which means we get to then continue to do whatever we want for at least another turn. And I believe I can play Heart of Kiran and Settle and Nissa, right? Nissa will cost us 3. Teferi gives us back 1 of them, or 2 of them, leaving us down 1, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, which is enough to Heart of Kiran and Settle, I believe. This game's going to be very, very close, but I mean, I feel like we're pulling ahead, but our opponent's playing well. We get to choose what we draw here with Teferi, too, for what it's worth. I don't want either of these, though. Alright, so we'll play out the Heart of Kiran. Yeah, we're going to need the Search for Ascanta to do work, I think, which means... but we should be able to. Next turn with it, transform it. And hopefully just grind this one out. I mean, a lot of this game revolves around our planeswalkers, obviously, but we also... I mean, our life total is pretty high as well, so... Oh, they have a Braid for the Heart of Kiran. That's fine. It actually doesn't matter that much. See, now our opponent's in a bit of a bad spot, just because we have 2 planeswalkers on board with Settle Up. And I feel like, you know, if our opponent's played well, I think I've also done a good job slow rolling the Settle as much as possible. They've played around at every opportunity, and it's not like I haven't represented it, but they don't have a lot of great choices now. This actually did matter because they get to just send in 1 now. So I'm faced with a choice of losing Teferi or settling 1 Phoenix. Oh, they're coming in with 2. Okay, this is good for us. Yeah, this was a hard decision for our opponent. They played around it most of the game, but we're gonna get them here. I actually, if I really, really wanted to get cheeky there, if they had just come in with the 6/5 at Teferi, maybe I let Teferi die, which would telegraph to them that, hey, we don't have settle. And then we get to settle their entire board next turn. But I don't think it's worth it, given that we get to transform Search for Ascanta here. Dovin Baan, huh? I would like to draw Dovin Baan, I think. And I would like to transform Search for Ascanta. All right, let's go ahead and scry. Yeah, I think we might have turned the corner here. Now I get to play Dovin Baan. I think I'm going to minus Dovin Baan on the Earthshaker Kinra. Or the Resilient Kinra. And I'm going to... Okay, there you go. We did it! That game was actually crazy good. I was going to plus Dovin Baan to give the Kinra -3. And then I was going to minus Teferi to get rid of Rekindling Phoenix. And then we have enough to activate Search for Ascanta as well, which would have found us the Gideon or whatever else we wanted, you know. That game was really actually very, very good. Our opponent played quite well. For what it's worth. We were just able to get there in the end. I think we want the Sealaways. They're very good here. What do we not want? I like all the exile effects, essentially. The Haze Pollens are actually very good there. Our opponent has a Braids, and most of their creatures are big anyway, so we can cut one of those. I like a lot of cards. Honestly, I just kind of like playing this too. They don't have any removal for us, which are not really going to have much. This is just kind of a house. We can probably cut a Dovin Baan here. This is kind of a matchup where we want Search, but I'm going to board out 1 because we're on the draw. This puts us down to 60 at least. This is actually pretty decent in the matchup, but it doesn't play nice with the Sealaways. And again, and it does exile even. It's a nice board wipe. Does things that Fumigate doesn't. We just kind of have to be aware that it doesn't play nice with the Sealaways or the Cast Out. I think I'm going to give this a shot. I don't know if this is correct. Obviously, this is a brand new deck. Don't know exactly how we're supposed to be boarding or anything like that. Or if our sideboard's correct at all. This hand is tempting. I'm on the draw. I'll mulligan. I guess no. I'm just keeping. We have cycle lands, so yeah, maybe it's a loose keep, but we basically want to hit nearly all of our land drops, and with the cycle lanes, it really does give you a lot of flexibility on something like this. And now we just get to slam a turn 2 search for Azcanta. Our opponent has a 2-drop. That's actually a pretty big game for them. I'm still going to play search here. Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Now we have a plan. That's what that is. This is a plan. And guess what? Search for Azcanta is conveniently legendary. Oh, no, it's only... It has to be a legendary creature or planeswalker, not enchantment. Oh, that makes it quite a bit worse, actually. Oh, good to know. Well, then. Lesson learned, I suppose. Huh. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's a lot worse. We actually have to have a planeswalker when we play this, which is a lot more difficult than I maybe anticipated. And we are going to get beat down as well. Botanical Sanctum, huh? All of our lands come into play untapped, except for this one. I think I would like to get rid of that. Hey, Servant of Conduit, huh? Why not, I guess? I guess this is the game we're playing? I don't know. I don't know what we want to do here. There's this Ruinous Blast not working how I thought it did. It's actually pretty inconvenient. I think I'm going to trade with this one. No, that's the one I want to exile. I'm going to trade with this one. The alternative is, well, we could also not do that and then make a, we could take 4. Maybe I just take 4 and then I play Nissa. It might actually even give us the opportunity to untap with Nissa and get somewhere with a Ruinous Blast. I would like to draw a cast out for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and add green here. Our life total is getting a little precarious, but with our opponent only having 2 lands, this Nissa should be pretty good. Untap our planes here and get to pass the turn. We get a 5/5 to play defense. And yeah, our opponent probably boarded out their braids. I mean, they saw Heart of Kiran, so maybe not. But this 5/5 should at the very least cause our opponent to trade one of their creatures with it and a removal spell, allowing Nissa to hopefully take over the game. Oh, wow. And they just can't do anything about it. That's very bad for our opponent. You know, obviously we're benefiting from the... I can just get an emblem immediately. I probably actually don't want to do that, but... Oh, this is pretty nice. It'll untap this to give us another blocker, and we'll have cast out up. This game has not progressed how I thought it would, that's for sure, but it might be fine for us. I mean, our opponent obviously has all gas in hand, and eventually is going to draw a 3rd land. Quite unlucky for them. Oh, come on. I don't know. I don't know what we were going to do there. I assume we were in a good spot. I mean, we have the Seal Away for one of them. We have the Cast Out. We have the Urza's Ruinous Blast. I think we were going to get there. But our opponent wasn't that far from making a game. But I guess once we Ultimate Nissa next turn, and then Seal Away, which block one, Seal Away the other one, at that point it's pretty hard to get back into it. So, I mean, they're probably correct that it's over. But, man, that was a good match. Game 1 was great, and that one was pretty good as well. This was exciting, everybody. I'm loving Dominaria so far. It is awesome. The cards are great. The Planeswalkers are fun. Oath of Teferi is an awesome card. I'm looking forward to this standard. This is Solving Standard, everybody. I'm Corbin Hostler. If you enjoyed the videos, make sure to subscribe to TCGplayer. I have Mining Modern content out every Monday. We're going to be doing Solving Standard for Dominaria, and we might even have some Brawl content in there as well. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see ya.